Pennsylvania CareerLink welcomes you to Highlights Along the Journey, a series of recorded events meant to spark interest along your journey to a new career opportunity. We are employees of the Pennsylvania Department of Labor, Bureau of Workforce Partnership and Operation. Our scope features current, market-driven needs of both employers and job seekers. Our mission is to discover and promote all that is new in employment trends, education, and training in southwestern Pennsylvania and beyond. We're starting the conversation, and we sincerely welcome you to explore these highlights along the journey.
Good morning. Welcome, everyone. My name is Lori Limerick, and I'm a career advisor at the Pennsylvania CareerLink in downtown Pittsburgh. Today, we have a representative from New Century Careers. Eric Ferdkamper is going to present to us today about the opportunities for machinist training. They are located in the south side of Pittsburgh, as well as Latrobe, Pennsylvania. So with that, Eric, welcome, and I'm glad everybody could make it today.
The programs, like I say, our primary program is Manufacturing 2000, and that's our machinist training program. We are registered, that program, I should say, is registered with the state as an approved pre-apprenticeship program. And what that means is that if you go on to attach to the workforce with an employer that offers a 4-year machinist training program, and that would be a 4-year apprenticeship program, there are benefits in completing the Manufacturing 2000 program prior to entering the 4-year apprenticeship program. That benefit is primarily a reduction in the advanced placement testing that you can utilize to skip the first year of that 4-year apprenticeship program. We also offer incumbent worker training. So for our manufacturing companies that maybe they purchase a new machine, maybe they just wish to upskill their current employees, we customize training for those employers. We also, at our locations, we do train the National Tooling and Machining Association's 4-year apprenticeship program. So what I mean by that is that a few nights a week, we have instructors on site that perform the related instruction for the National Tooling and Machining Association 4-year apprenticeship program. We also serve as a sponsor for group non-joint apprenticeship programs. And again, this is primarily for employers that wish to establish an apprenticeship program, which is beneficial for employee retention and employee upskilling. And we do that through a machinist apprenticeship program, as well as a robotics technician apprenticeship program. And that group non-joint apprenticeship program, that's something that the employer engages in with us. And then when they do hire individuals, we then see the individual at our training facility. We also have a New Century Job Shop that was established a couple of years back. And what that is you saw a picture of a machine shop. Well, we go out and we bid on jobs that other manufacturers might have available. And if we get awarded that job, it might be for 10 parts, or it could be for 3,000 parts. We then machine those parts in our shop, and we have a manager that takes care of that machining, and we move students into those jobs or that we receive. In other words, students that have been with us that have the foundation skills necessary end up working on these private projects for these companies, and so they get real life experience. It's not just the work that they do through their workbook or other credentials that we do during the Manufacturing 2000 training. This would be in addition to that, so it's a real great resume builder. And it offers, as a nonprofit organization, it offers us a little bit of income to help offset our training costs. So what is machining? Well, machining refers to a variety of pardon me, variety of things. Primarily, it's raw material is cut into a specific final shape using using tools to remove that material. So machining is a part of the manufacturing of many metal products. It's used on wood, plastic, ceramics, steel, and a variety of other composites. A person who specializes in machining is called a machinist. The machinist entry-level wage is typically around $14 to $16 an hour. That wage rate can be substantially greater. I've seen it as high as $21 to $22 an hour. It just really depends on the size of the employer, whether the employer is a union or a non-union shop, and again, if that employer offers a 4-year apprenticeship training program or they don't offer a program. But the average wage overall in Pennsylvania is just above $42,000 for a machinist. That average wage rate does not include overtime pay. Many machine shops, when they get additional work, instead of hiring additional people to do that work, they just offer the overtime to their current staff. It's a very common practice within machine shops. The skills gap is widening, even though with COVID, we did see the layoff of a number of individuals and companies reducing the workforce because of lowered demand. But within manufacturing, every manufacturing job creates another 2.5 jobs in local goods and services. Over the next decade, nearly 3.5 million manufacturing jobs will likely need to be filled. So, and the reality, those are just some statistics, but the reality of it is that we bring cohorts in generally 4 times per year. We offer a class generally starting every 3 months. Those classes range in size from 5 students to no more than 11 students or 12 students. We're always placing those individuals because we have those 4 cohorts a year. Those individuals are gaining their skills over the course of a 4 to 6 month period and then getting a job. So we always have people getting to the point where they're doing job search. And as such, we're placing those individuals regularly. So this past month in November, we placed 4 individuals that were nearing the completion of their training. So there are jobs available, and there's a lot of choices out there of where you would like to work geographically, and then for what size of the company you would like to work, whether you want a small shop where you might be doing a few different things during the course of your day, or a larger shop where you might only be working on one machine regularly. Our Manufacturing 2000 Machinist Training Program, we have a total of 600 hours of training, and this is provided at no cost to the students. Again, we're a nonprofit. We obtain state grants, federal grants. We do foundation grant writing. We do other types of campaigns to obtain contributions from the private sector. The only cost to a student is they do need to purchase a pair of steel-toed boots, and they should have headphones because a part of our training includes an online component where they'd be viewing and hearing videos and then taking quizzes. There is also, you would need to purchase a lock for your locker. We offer lockers to our students so that they can put their tools or whatever, their boots or whatever they have in that locker at the end of the training day. So we do prepare through this program individuals for those machining jobs. New classes start approximately every 8 weeks. Again, it's a minimum of every 12 weeks. Depending on demand, and it has been substantial up until COVID, and we were doing classes every couple of months. Our daytime classes run 9 a.m. till 3 p.m., Monday through Friday, and the program length is 4 to 6 months. We don't have a set graduation date. Students work at their own pace, and they work on projects under the instruction of our shop managers. And so everyone learns at a slightly different pace, but we find that most students after 4 months, many are ready to start looking for work and attached to the workforce. Some students are with us 6 months or sometimes longer, depending on their job search and certainly where their skill sets are. We do offer evening classes downtown at the Southside location. We offer them Monday and Wednesday from 4 until 10 p.m. And then out in Latrobe, that's at the East Westmoreland CTC. Those evening classes run Monday through Friday. Now, if you're going in the evening, your amount of time that you're spending working on those projects and building those skills is going to take a little bit longer than that 4 to 6 months. So those evening classes, we generally find students are with us around a 9-month to 10-month time frame. The eligibility is pretty straightforward. You have to be 18. You must have a high school diploma or a GED. We ask for 2 letters of recommendation from non-family members. That could be a teacher, a counselor, a coworker, a friend. And it just needs to be very straightforward that the candidate would be a good candidate for our program because they like working with their hands. They want a lifestyle change. They want a career path that's going to be more secure than where they are. After we have the paperwork completed, an application with those 2 letters of recommendation and a copy of your GED or high school diploma, we then have we set up an online aptitude test, and we look for an average of 59% on that aptitude test in order to accept an individual into the class. We do have some brush up resources for students that they can utilize, as well as we have an on-site tutor once a week for those individuals that wish to brush up a little bit before that aptitude test. Interested candidates, we mail out, email, or through our website, they can complete an application. It's a straightforward application, almost like a job application. And again, I mentioned the letters as well as the GED or high school diploma, and then that aptitude test, which is math, spatial relations, and mechanical relations, and then mechanical reasoning. And again, brush up is available. Basic training within the Manufacturing 2000 program includes pedestal grinders, saws, drill press, lathes, vertical milling machines, as well as CNC machines. That's computer numeric controlled machines. Students also learn how to read blueprints, and they learn how to apply the math theory, as well as we offer one-on-one job search assistance, and that's for a lifetime. We have students that may want to change jobs later. After we've placed them, they can come back and we can help them obtain employment elsewhere. We ask that you can call us and come down and take a tour of our facility, get an idea for what our machines do, what the different types of machines look like. You can even speak to some of the students on site. Again, here's some photos of our shop. These are the 2 slides on the left are CNC machines. Those are computer numeric controlled. The one on the right is a hybrid, and the lower right corner, that's a manual lathe. And again, I invite individuals to come down and take a tour. It's really helpful to put in perspective what it is that we'd be training for. So again, our primary location is in the south side of Pittsburgh at 305 East Carson Street, and also at Latrobe at the East Westmoreland Career and Technical Center. Here's some local larger companies that we work with. We have over 100 partner companies, as well as hundreds of additional companies that they hire from our graduating classes. The difference is our partner companies, once they hire someone, they'll pay us a placement fee, which helps to offset our training costs. We don't mandate that our graduates go to any of our partner companies. We want our graduates to go and get a job with a company where they wish to work. But if it happens to be one of our partner companies, it certainly helps us by offsetting our training costs slightly. There's a couple, in this on our website, we have these success stories listed as well. But a lot of our students are coming from, limited work experience background. We have students that are just coming out of high school with not a lot of experience. Our last class, we had two individuals that were in their late 50s that were CDL drivers, and their company lost a contract and they were laid off again and decided that they wished to change careers. Both of them have come through our program and have been placed already. So we just have a variety of students from all demographics with all types of experience and backgrounds. And another graduate, again, these success stories are on our website if you wish to look at them. We also have some nice short videos on our website of interviews with students and instructors. So for more information or to get an application, feel free to contact me either through our website. Our website, we have a page where you can actually do an application right on the website, or you can call me, or you can download it from our website to start that application. Completing an application does not obligate you in any way. Again, we are a nonprofit. We don't just fill seats in our classroom to fill seats, because we don't make any money off our seats. It costs us money every time we enroll someone. So you can make application, you can communicate with us knowing that you will not be obligated, and we are not going to be tracking you down and calling you and trying to get you to enroll. We hope that you do, but we want you to do so because you think it's a good choice for you. So that's about it. Hopefully that was clear. Laura, was there anything there that you would like me to expound upon?
I thought it was a great presentation, Eric.
Thank you.
Yeah, just as far as the training, you were talking, it's for everyone going through it. It's 600 hours, is that right?
That's right. Now, again, so that's when 600 hours is the total, correct? However, some students excel, and so they're gaining their skill sets more quickly. In other words, they're working on their projects. It's coming to them. They're really good at manipulating the machines to make the appropriate and proper cuts. Mm-hmm. Every student gets at least 2 National Institute of Metalworking Skills credentials. We encourage students, in fact, we pay for students to obtain up to 10 credentials. Again, depending on the student's willingness to engage and how well they excel. So those projects, they take time, but again, some students complete them more quickly than others. After about 400 hours, you have the foundation skills where some students really need to get into the workforce for obvious reasons. Unfortunately, we don't pay a stipend or anything along those lines. We can't afford to do so. Many of our students work part-time, but again, some of our students need to get a job more quickly than others. So we find that after about 4 months, they have the foundation skills necessary to get an entry-level job within a machine shop or a manufacturing company.
Now, does that turn into an apprenticeship of any kind?
So again, similar to the construction industry, there are apprenticeship programs available, but it's dependent upon the employer to which the student attaches to. In other words, Oberg Industries, big medical device manufacturer, they make a lot of different things. They have a 4-year apprenticeship program. They offer that in-house. Kurt Lesker has a 4-year apprenticeship program. We work with them and do the training. Some shops don't offer an apprenticeship program at all. So It just varies. Again, some shops are union, whereas some shops are non-union.
Okay. But it is possible for someone coming in, let's just say somebody coming in with absolutely no experience, in 4 to 6 months, they will have basic skills that they could get an entry-level position in a shop.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's absolutely good.
It's a very quick turnaround. The demand is great. Again, COVID caused some layoffs to occur, but those companies, we're talking about companies that build parts for aerospace, for the military, for consumer goods, and those things are still, they still have needs.
Mm-hmm.
So our students are able to find those jobs. And again, shop size varies dramatically. There are shops with 5 or 6 individuals and shops with 500 and 600, employees.
And you also said that you encouraged people to take a tour to come and see the shop in the South Side, and see if it's
absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a real important piece to making a decision such as this, because I think, as we were talked earlier, before I started within this industry, I had no idea the number of machine shops that were actually in this area. You drive by a nondescript building and you just think it's a building. You don't think about it. Meanwhile, you walk into that building, they have 20, 30 people working with these large machining tools, the mills, the lathes, the grinders, and so forth. So coming into our school prior to enrolling really gives you a good feel for what it is a machinist does on a daily basis.
And you said something when you started out about standing on your feet for a good amount of time. So are those jobs all standing?
Yes, all those jobs are standing. Now, employers do make accommodations as needed.
Uh-huh.
Many employers have special mats. I'm going to say memory foam. That's not what it is, but there are mats that they utilize to help take some of the pressure off. Also, many have I should say it's more of a stool, not a chair. So depending on the types of parts you're running, you can at least sit down somewhat on a stool. But most jobs, we warn individuals up front that most jobs will require you to stand for, say, 2 to 4 hours periods at a time before a break.
Okay. One more thing I wanted to ask, and you had mentioned that there was I guess 3 apprenticeships, but the one particularly was the 2-year robotics tech app. And you said that was for employers to get involved in. So an employer would approach you about robotics training for their employees?
So an apprenticeship program benefits not only the employer, but also the employee, of course. In the case of both the apprenticeship program for machinists as well as the apprenticeship program for a robotics technician, each one requires a sponsor. The sponsor is generally the company. And what that means is that the company establishes with the Department of Labor the apprenticeship program. And then they handle the reporting when they hire an individual and put them into the program. They track all their hours. They make sure that they're getting the related instructions, so on and so forth. With robotics training, the same thing occurs, where an employer would say to us, boy, we'd really like to have our employees go through this 2-year robotics technician program. We can help them set it up, or they can do that themselves. Ultimately, we will handle that training element for those people coming through that program. I say that, I guess, to be more clear, is that someone can't just say, I'd like to be a robotics technician, or I want to be a machinist apprenticeship. I want to be in a machinist apprenticeship. The desire might be there, but you would have to find an employer that is offering that apprenticeship program.
Right.
The robotics technician apprenticeship program is brand new. We just developed that about 6 months ago. We've worked with CCAC, the Advanced Robotics Institute, and Catalyst Connection to develop that program. And we're currently in the process of finding employers to want to engage in that robotics program. So when that occurs, we'll start having the knowledge base of what employer is offering that. So if candidates do say, hey, I'd like to be in a robotics apprenticeship program, we would be able to say, well, check with such and such a company to see if they're doing it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty exciting going forward.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll look for more information on that.
Well, it's so many elements of the manufacturing process are automated. And so, whether it be, robotic arms, or it could just be automation in general, there's science behind that, and there's training that's involved. The new U.S. Steel plant that they're building is going to have a lot of that autonomous type of technology, and so those workers are going to have the need to have those skill sets, of robotics and programming and automation, and that's what the 2-year program seeks to resolve.
Well, does anyone have any other questions for Eric? Well, just one last thing. I sound like Columbo here saying this one more. One more thing, Eric. As a workforce development professional, what is your advice to someone who is in a situation where they've lost their employment and maybe hasn't had any experience at all? Maybe they've been in retail or hospitality or a total, different field, but if they were considering a change, what advice would you give them on how to move forward with this?
Well, not only, I'll speak in general at first, and that is that 6 months is going to go by no matter what you do. And you can spend that 6 months working in your current job, whatever that might be, or unfortunately, if you might be unemployed, you could spend that 6 months seeking employment opportunities. No matter what you do, 6 months is going to go by. So in general, I would suggest to anyone seeking a career change or seeking to, become reemployed, look at the training that's available and try and take advantage of it now. Get attached to some sort of training or something that's going to move you forward sooner than later, because time goes by so quickly. With our program, if you come down and take a tour, you'll realize that that anyone can do it. And I can tell you that we had a guy graduate, I guess it was in January, who was a cook for about 15 years. He never touched anything outside of a kitchen environment. We had a young lady, and she's interviewing now, who came from a retail background and was looking for something more stable and something that's going to give her additional opportunities. She was able to complete the projects, I mentioned those credentials. She was able to complete not only those 2 credentials, but a couple of additional credentials, and now is in the process of interviewing. And I'm certain that she will attach to the workforce within the next 30 to, I can't imagine any more than 30 days. I think she's going to go pretty quick. Again, the sooner you start, the better, really. And And I highly recommend if you come down at least tour the shop to get a good understanding of what it is a machinist does. I can be very helpful in making that decision.
Well, thank you again. And, definitely contact Eric, and you have your contact information in here, and I'll also put it.
Great. Great.
In the chat.
And our website is ncsquared.com. That's ncsquared.com. And again, you can read about the programs there. More importantly, you can watch some videos, read some success stories, as well as complete an application online if you'd like. And there's never an obligation to our students or to candidates that get information from us or complete an application. We want the student to be sure that this is the right move for them.
Well, Eric, I appreciate you joining us today, and I'm sure that the information will be beneficial to me as we get the word out. And I wish you well, and thank everybody for joining today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Laura. And if I can answer any questions, feel free to just give me a call on the phone or shoot me an email, and I'd be more than happy to assist anyone. And that includes members of your group too, Laura.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All righty. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day.